We're live now. It's 7 p.m. I'd like to call Ferrisburg City Council meeting to order tonight, Monday, May 17, 2021. Under the directions of Ottawa County Declaration State of Emergency, City of Ferrisburg will conduct its business via Zoom to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Members of the public are welcome and encouraged to participate in this meeting. Members of the public are not required to register or otherwise provide information to attend. Please utilize your mute function on your phone while on the conference call. When appropriate, Mayor Hop will run the virtual meeting like a regular meeting. There'll be opportunities at the beginning and the end of the meeting for public comments. To ensure full transparency during tonight's virtual council meeting, please state your physical location. Roll call, please.
Mayor Hop,
Here, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Councilmember DeWitt, Councilmember O'Donnell,
Here, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Councilmember Carlson, Councilmember Blease,
Here, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Here, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Councilmember Sias.
We have heard from Councilmember Carlson that he will be a little late this evening, but we have not received information from either Councilmember DeWitt nor Sias at this time.
I'll make a motion to excuse Councilman DeWitt and Councilman Sias.
Would you include also Councilmember Carlson at this point?
Yes, and Councilman Carlson.
Okay,
Support.
motion and support. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Oh, roll call, please.
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes. Thank you. Moving down to item 3, moment of silence. Please remembering all of those affected by personal challenges and protecting all of our men and women in uniform who protect us on a daily basis. Thank you. Moving down on the agenda to item number 4, please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
and
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving down on item number 5, public comment. This time on the agenda is for a citizen to direct brief comments or questions to City Council. Time for public comments will be given when an agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand to be recognized by the mayor. And after being recognized by the mayor, please give your name and address for the record and proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comment or question for 3 minutes. There are no attendees at this point, so we'll move on to our next agenda item. Agenda item 6, consideration approval of consent agenda. A, approve the May 3rd, 2021 City Council meeting minutes as printed.
So moved.
Support.
Motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes. Thank you very much. Moving down to 7, new business. A, public hearing, proposed 2021-2022 city budget. We'll open up the public hearing at 7:04. There are no attendees at this point. So we will close public hearing at 7:05. And at this point, we have Councilmember Sias who has joined us. Councilmember Sias, you are muted at this time.
Yes,
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes,
Thank you. Apologize. I had a problem uploading for some reason. I couldn't.
glad that you were able to make it this evening. We're on
Thank you.
to item 7B. Consideration for approval of resolution to authorize the city's 2021 summer tax levy at 9.1515 mils.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the city's summer tax levy at 9.1515 mils.
Support.
Motion support, further discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes,
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. Moving down to 7D. 7C, discussion, take action if appropriate, adopt the resolution adopting sewer and water rates and charges.
So moved.
support.
Motion and support, further discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
No.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes,
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. 7D, approve a resolution adopting the 2021-2022 city budget for $6,563,260 and appropriating funds for said purposes.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution adopting the 2021-2022 city budget of $6,563,260 and appropriating funds for such said purposes.
Support.
second.
Motion and support, further discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Oh.
Oh, yes, Councilmember Blease.
Craig, I got a question for you on, it looks like that number says total unduplicated budget, 6,563,260. And then on the summary sheet, it says the proposed budget for all funds, net of inter-fund transfers is 6,543,260. So that's like a $20,000 difference. Is that because there's something missing in there?
No, it's a typo. It should be 6543 in the summary.
Oh, it should. Okay.
Should be 563,260 in the summary. I apologize for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes,
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. 7E, discussion, take action if appropriate to purchase Nexel Engage for $2,600 and for a one-time setup fee of $300.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion that we purchase the Nixle M-Gage for $2,600 with a one-time setup fee of $300.
support.
Motion support. Further discussion around this agenda item? Yes, Councilmember Montgomery.
It's 2,600 a year, correct?
That's correct.
Right. Do we have a solid use plan for this? I know we've talked about ideas of what we could use it for. I just haven't seen a really solid plan for how we're going to actually use it. And $3,000 for a cool feature, I guess.
We have not discussed the specifics for this. And I'd like to follow up your discussion item, Councilmember Montgomery, with also, we do have, the city has a Facebook page for social media, and we also have a very active website, which is being updated continually with either meetings, meeting minutes, activities, things that are going on within the city. And I know staff has been doing their due diligence and even changing like out the banner. So there's different photos for different attention getters and that. So this is a discussion for council if we wish to move forward with this or if we choose not to.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Your Honor.
I'm
I
sorry.
completely agree. I think I haven't personally heard any communication complaints. I think we do fairly well, especially for a small town. I would just hate to pass an additional burden on to our taxpayers if we, don't have a solid use plan for it. And I think we're, as cool of a feature as this will be, we're kind of stretching it with this.
This was brought, I received literature on a couple of the other ones earlier, and this would have been a wonderful feature last spring with COVID and the challenges that the city was facing at that time. But it currently, I believe that staff does an exceptional job with updating things on social media and those two different platforms. And council talking, and just staff talking with residents, and we're out and about and things like that to get the information out. So, Councilmember Sias, did you have your hand raised also?
Yeah, Your Honor. And Councilmember Montgomery kind of hit what I was going to speak on. And I guess the only thing I could really see a significant use is maybe for alerting, the city of alerts, of a water main break or something of that manner. But other than that, I don't know. With the website and Facebook page, like you said, I think we do a pretty good job of outreach. So it is a good program, but for the size of our city, it is questionable, I guess.
Okay, I just noticed that Councilmember Carlson has joined in.
Maybe his internet's running like mine.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I am present in the city of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Thank you. We are on to item 7E, and there's been a motion and support, and now we're in a discussion. And a couple of council members and myself were sharing that spending this year $2,900 out of the general fund to cover something like this without a clear picture of how we're going to initiate it and how we're going to utilize it. So,
Okay, thank you.
If you have anything to share or thoughts or anything around this before
I
we go
just
forward.
question what the city is going to be using it for and the frequency of it.
Correct. And we discussed that the city has a Facebook page for social media, and then also the city's website that's continually updated with information for the residents. So, any other discussion?
Your Honor?
Yes, Council Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell.
Yes, the reason I've been pushing to get this through is because while we have the Facebook page and we have the website, not everybody is has access to that, or like I don't spend a lot of time on social media or on my computer, and it would be nice to have instant notification of things that are going on, reminders that are going on in the community. Almost everybody has a smartphone or some type of area that could be, or where they can receive texts, whether it be a pager or phone. And I have received some complaints from people in the community that with the website not having updated information as to when events are going on. It's kind of, for some people, it's been kind of difficult to navigate through the website. And I think the more communication we can have with the residents, the better. This would be a good notice to send out, if we would just send out a reminder that the council meeting is tonight at 7 p.m. I have had some people ask if we're going to bring back the newsletter with and that sort of thing. So the more information we can get out to the community, I think the better participation we're going to get. Also, in this day and age, with the way things are in our society, instant communication with residents is essential. If we used it once or twice in an emergency situation, that could be a critical. It could save a life, or it could just at least inform people what's going on. So this is just another tool that we can add. I think we can afford the money. It's not unreasonable. It's pretty close to what every other organization has come out with. This is not something that you have to pass it to find out what's in it. We know what's available. It would just be coming together, setting it up. We could try it for a year. If we don't like it, we can always do away with it. I think this is something we need to add to our communications toolbox for our residents.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Additional comments or questions? Councilmember Carlson.
Yes, Your Honor. I would reiterate what Tim is saying. We do have an aging population here in Ferrisburg, and many of which don't have cell service. They're relying on landlines, and this might be a great way to contact those people.
Certainly.
And secondly, society certainly is heating up here and abroad, and it would be great for us to be able to have contact with our citizens when needed. That's all.
I agree with that. It would have made last spring much easier when reaching out to all the residents. And
Agreed.
Councilmember Sias.
Would it be possible for us to get a rep from Nixle to kind of explain to us what they can offer us and how it would help our situation? Would that be possible? And maybe
She was
table
present
this?
at our last council meeting.
What's that?
She was present at our last council meeting.
Oh, she was? Oh, okay. All right. I apologize.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Your Honor, wasn't it an upcharge for us to be able to do voice communication?
Yes, was that included in this cost, Mr. Bessinger?
I thought this was just for the mass texting capability.
Because I know that we had discussed it regarding the telephone usage and utilizing the landlines for our aging population. I thought at this cost it had included that because there was an upcharge for that.
It says here, SMS and voice notifications are subject to the Everbridge credit-based use policy. Whatever that is.
So with that question and not a clear answer for it, do we want to table this together, more specifics and a breakdown of the cost, and then revisit it June 7th?
Yeah, I would agree with that, Your Honor. And just to clarify, I know Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell mentioned the newsletter. We are still sending that out, aren't we?
It's sent out quarterly with the water bills.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's not something we've discontinued.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Buzzinger.
So when it has the breakdown of Nixle, it says unlimited text, email, web messaging, unlimited voice minutes.
For that cost at $2,600 yearly, the annual cost.
It's my understanding, yes.
And that includes landlines also then? Because I remember a certain extra upcharge for the specific landlines. I would just hate to get it and not have that functionality.
I would have to double check with the rep on that.
So right now we have a motion and support on the table. So we'll need to address that first if Councilmember Bliss, yes.
Yeah, I just had a comment. I mean, I really like the system. I think it would be really cool and good function. But the big question is, how many people would take advantage of it? So if only 5 people sign up for it, that's not real good use of that $3,000. But if 50 or 100, then yes. So is there a way maybe to get some feedback from residents, survey or a poll of if there would be any interest in using that type of service? Just a question, just a thought possibly.
We could look at doing something like that. Definitely. Councilmember Carlson.
Yes, if we're going to revisit this potentially next month or at the next meeting, if we're going to ask Nixle about the voice and if there's an upcharge, we could potentially also ask them what kind of community engagement they typically get in other communities like ours.
Yes, that would be an additional information that we could utilize too. Councilmember Sias?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. So further, yes, Councilmember Montgomery.
So I would just ask if we're going to revisit this on a later date, that we also come up with a more concise usage plan for how we plan to use this and what exactly we're going to use it for. I know we've thrown around a lot of ideas. There's some ideas that I think residents would be very happy, and there's some ideas that I think, quite frankly, would probably end up annoying more residents than not. So just have an accurate plan of what we're going to use it for prior to paying for it, I think would be a good practice for us.
Okay. Have parameters put in place? Okay. Further discussion before we go to a vote? Okay, seeing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sias,
Nay.
Councilmember Blease,
No,
Councilmember Montgomery,
No,
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes,
Mayor Hop,
Yes.
3-2.
oh, forgot
Councilmember
Carlson.
Carlson.
Oh, that's right. You joined us.
Thank you. Nay,
Yay, nay,
nay,
Nay.
nay. Okay.
nay. Thank you.
Nay.
Motion failed. Okay. Does council at this time want to put a motion to table this, to revisit this, or the motion failed at this time and it's done? Yes, Councilmember Montgomery.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to do a work session around this so we can come up with a usage plan and get a couple of our questions answered prior to voting on this.
So moving this to then the June work session. Okay. Other
I'll
council
support
members?
that.
Okay. All right. Councilmember Carlson, were you going to say something?
Can I make a motion to put it on the next meeting agenda?
Do you want it as a work session or
No,
put it on, you want it on an agenda item?
that is correct, providing that we get the answers that we have asked for at this meeting.
So we'll leave that up to staff, that if they receive adequate information, then we can put it on as an agenda item.
We should
I
have,
would-
we should
I
have
would
this
support that.
information.
Two voices. Mr. Bessinger?
We should have the information available for June 7th.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell?
I would support that, Councilmember Carlson's proposal.
Thank you.
Rest of council in agreement with that?
For,
Yes, Councilmember, okay.
Your Honor, I would just ask that
Yes.
city staff put together a rough plan of what they would plan to use this for, how often and for what events.
Mr. Bessinger, is that something that staff would be able to do?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, so we will revisit this again in June, June 7, as an agenda item. Okay. With that done, we'll move down to item 7F. Discussion and take action if appropriate to approve the proposal from M&M Concrete LLC for $8,730 for sidewalk repairs.
So moved.
Okay. Motion? Is there
second,
Motion support. Further discussion regarding this?
Your Honor,
Yes, Council, Mayor Pro Tem.
I am curious as to, I realize in this proposal that they would be taking out the concrete, putting in brand new concrete. Is there, but I do know that there are ways to restore sidewalks, concrete to re-leveling them. Is that something that we could look at, an option that might be cheaper? Or has that been looked at?
The Public Works Department has walked all the sidewalks in the city and have made a recommendation that these certain sections need to be taken out and repaired. A lot of it is roots that are heaving the sidewalks, and we'll cut the roots out when we replace the sidewalk.
Okay,
Which then in turn would be leveling off that area. Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell, did you have?
well, is it all roots problem? Or is there some areas that could be just re-leveled? Just, it's because of the ground, changes in ground surge?
I'm not sure re-leveling, they've looked at that. We did look at some grinding, some of the stuff that was raised to grind it down so it wouldn't be a trip hazard. We can revisit that if you like.
I would like to see if that could be done to reduce the price on this. This is actually very expensive. If we can do it for cheaper, I'd appreciate doing that.
Councilmember Carlson, you had your hand up.
I had just had a question about if we had visited grinding. And then secondly, it's important for us to limit injuries for our citizens and also our liability for people getting hurt.
Mr. Bessinger, this quote is for repairing all aspects of the sidewalk throughout the whole city, correct? Not just in a specific area?
Right, throughout the city, and your packet was a map of showing locations. It's basically on Ridge, Hazel, Pine Street, 3rd Street. But we can revisit this and review again, see if there's any sections that we can grind or something to reduce the cost a little bit.
Okay. Any other discussion? Councilmember Montgomery?
Craig, does our DPW do any of their own cement work?
Typically not. Small sections, not sidewalk.
Okay. The part by the off ramp, is that going to be torn up again with this bridge project, or will that not be affected?
The off ramp from 31 northbound,
Yes.
the ramp shouldn't be touched, or I don't know if they're repaving or not, but it's not gonna be changed.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a motion support on the table. And so we'll consider that first before we move into further discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sias,
Before we take roll call, are we gonna look into grinding this, or are we taking roll call on the bid, or what?
The motion that's on the table is to accept the bid from M&M.
Okay,
And then during the discussion phase, we discussed other options and
right,
receiving quotes from that. We have to vote on the motion on the table. I meant motion that's right here before we ask staff to do something more.
gotcha, okay.
Okay.
Then, no,
Councilmember Montgomery, you just raised your hand.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask city staff one more thing, Your Honor.
Okay.
Craig, are these all protruding or broken sidewalks, or are some of them minor cracks? Or,
Some are, the ones that should be replaced are typically trip hazards.
okay. Okay,
We'll get clarification on that for the next meeting.
Okay. So there's a roll call. Councilmember Sias has voted. Do you wish to change your vote at this time, sir?
no,
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Carlson,
No,
Councilmember Police,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
No,
Mayor Hop,
Yes.
tie vote, it failed.
Okay. So at this point, council would like to give direction to staff to seek additional options in repairs of the sidewalk? Is that what I heard during our discussion? As in grinding, any other type of repair? Councilmember Carlson?
yes, I would like city staff to investigate if there's any of these trip hazards, that it would be more economical for us to grind them down rather than replacing.
Okay. Is that the support of council at this point?
or,
yep,
Okay, thank you. So we'll move down to our agenda item 7G, work session. It's a Grand Haven Area Community Foundation mini grants. Staff included a list from different subcommittees from the Planning Commission, Rec Commission, and also beautification. And this is our opportunity to add to the list. Are there any items or ideas that you'd like to be considered for this mini grant? Okay, I'll start the discussion. I would like to see site improvement for where the Hezekiah Smith historical marker will be placed this summer in August. I think we owe it to Mr. Smith and for the city's first ever historical marker to have it something that's of value to the city and also for visitors, because people do come from all over. And not just to Ferrisburg, but I mean, there are people that travel to specifically look at and review different historical markers. So yes, Councilmember Carlson.
Yes, I had, top of my list was a welcome to Ferrisburg signage. We need better signage and better branding in the city. I do like the possible location in front of Alamo. And then also swing for a wheelchair and clean up the basketball area at Fire Barn Park. There's quite a bit of usage there.
Councilmember Montgomery, there's a resident that has already put interest in, isn't it, of doing work over at the basketball court?
They've offered to reline it, I believe.
Okay.
And do very basic maintenance.
Okay. Any other ideas,
Your Honor?
suggestion? Yeah, Councilmember Sias.
I agree with Councilmember Carlson on the signage. That's something we discussed in the beautification committee when we brought that up. And also on the beautification committee, somebody brought up maybe an ice skating park in the Fire Barn or somewhere in town. I know we've had one in the past there, but that's just one of our committee members have brought that up. So I thought I'd bring that up as well. So, but I do like your idea of the site of the Smith site. I think that could use some improvement. And I think with the amount of funding we have, I think adequate signage would be tough with that amount of fundage, as to where maybe the Smith Memorial site would be a better usage of that money. Maybe we could put in a nice concrete bench or something in there, you know, kind of spruce that up in there. I think that's a good idea as well.
Right, because it's going to be placed by the lift station, so
Yeah, it's
anything
kind
we
of
can do to.
hide it. Yeah, agreed.
Councilmember Carlson. you
Yeah,
for your
I'm
patience.
trying to get rid of the sun glare. I apologize. What was it that Marty Alexander had volunteered to do? Is there any way we could potentially couple up with that work that he's volunteering to do?
That was work. Councilmember Montgomery, I'll turn this over to you since you're on the rec commission.
Yeah, he was volunteering to, I believe, restripe the basketball court.
Right. That's right.
Was he painting the backboards too?
I don't know if he included that or not. Mr. Bessinger, do you know?
Repainting the poles.
The
Okay.
poles. Okay.
And so with my thought about cleaning up the basketball area at Fire Barn Park, that because of the fact that we already have a citizen volunteering labor there, that might be a good spot to help with to get a mini grant for that.
Okay. Any other items? Yes, Councilmember O'Donnell.
These are all really good ideas. I'm just curious if we couldn't put out a notice to the public that these are some of the things we're looking at in improvements, and see if anybody's interested in taking it up, like with the basketball court. And or like the some of these ideas would be good projects for our local scout troops with Eagle Scout projects. So that I would like to maybe expand it out and give notification to the local scout troops. This is the stuff that we're looking for. If anybody's interested in doing in these projects, get a little bit more community involvement in it.
Okay. I think Mr. Bessinger, generally staff has a list of suggestions or ideas when an Eagle Scout comes forward, and if they're looking for a project or possibly the day of caring that corporations are involved with.
So typically Eagle Scout candidate will come into the city and offer a project, whether it be for a park or a bench or something at the Dunes Preserve. And then we'll direct that Eagle Scout to meet with that commission and board and discuss it. But we do have we can always pass this, hang on to this list of things that are not going to be submitted for a grant application for possible projects in the future at the city.
Okay. Just have it a forever list.
Yeah.
So, Councilmember Blease, you're muted. Thank you.
I like all those ideas. Of course, we only have $7,100 to work with, so, but the ideas I kind of like are the kayak launch. And we did get a little estimate from this Dyke House Marine Construction. They could do a little kayak launch at William Ferry Park for $1,100. So, hey, that's a great deal, I think. And it could bring in some more people that want to launch their kayaks. The other ideas I like is signature bike racks, but I think too that, who mentioned that, Councilmember Montgomery, about putting out our ideas, and maybe we can get other people that might volunteer to donate either time or funds or materials for some of these things. Because if we say, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have a signature artistic type bicycle rack you might get a bicycle rider or group that might be willing to donate something like that. You know, I've seen other areas do that.
Mhm.
Muskegon received a bunch of donations from like Colorado Brewing Company that donated a whole bunch of metal bicycle racks, and they sent it through the distributors and they installed them in all around Muskegon County area. So there might be some things that we could get that's kind of in our wish list there, that if we just make it kind of publicly known, then you never know, we might get some donations or, you know,
Mhm.
people that are interested in helping us out.
Okay. All right, anything more?
Are we looking for, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, that's
Uh,
fine.
Okay. Are we looking for to give staff direction for what we want to apply for the grant? If that is the case, I like the something that is going to benefit everybody, and marketing the city is a benefit to every citizen in this city. So the signages, the welcoming signage, is excellent idea. The Smith's monument, and the kayak, you know, that'll bring some people into the city. Is that what we're looking for? Is what we want to spend the money on, or?
We were, council was given an opportunity tonight during this work session to add ideas and suggestions to this list, because it has passed through 3 subcommittees, and so now it's council's opportunity to add to it or to provide feedback, ideas, suggestions, or things.
Okay.
So yes, Mr. Bessinger.
You're correct, Honor. This is a chance for city council to contribute to the list. Once we get the list together, we're gonna bring it back to city council and have city council rank them. And then the, you know, top 2 or 3, we're gonna sit there and put a grant application together for. So we'll put a list together for the next meeting, give it to city council for you guys to rank. And then we'll, similar to what you do for your goals, and the top 2 or 3 will be the items that we'll apply for.
Does that explain to everyone the purpose of this? Okay. Any further discussion before we move on? Okay, seeing none, we'll move down to public comments. 8. There's 1 participant, and I'm not seeing a hand raised at this time. So we'll move down to report, city manager.
No report?
Go around the screen. So we'll go Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell.
Thank you, Your Honor. The ambulance committee, advisory committee met last Monday. We have an annual meeting. This is our meeting. We met and discussed the contract for the ambulance service with Noach, which the current contract ends at December of this year. The original proposal was to extend it a year, but during the discussion, all the participants, Robinson, Crockery Township, Spring Lake, Grand Haven Township, Grand Haven, City of Ferrisburg, the representatives all were pleased with the service that we're getting from Noach. So we decided to make a proposal that the contract go for 2 years. We have 6 months to approve this. So I'd like to see this on a future agenda item. And once the approvals are received, a hard copy will be passed around for the appropriate signatures. The Michigan Municipal League Transportation Infrastructure and Technologies Committee will be meeting on, of which I'm a representative, will be meeting on June 3rd. And we will be discussing physical design, walkability, municipal finance and services, infrastructure, and cultural economic development. I can send out an attachment to anybody that would like to further information on this. And I also always look for input to send to the give to this committee. This committee has direct links to the legislature, and I know we do a lot of it does kind of influence some of the stuff that's going on in Lansing and keeping us keeping them advised of what we like.
Mhm.
There's I would like to see a perhaps a future work session, a discussion on the no wake zone and the noise ordinance in Smith's Bayou. I've noticed that there's been a lot of complaints about that. And we really, I think we need to take a hard look at that and curbing the people that come in, and especially the out of towners that come in and don't really care about our laws. Maybe we need to get something with some teeth in it to help out our residents. And looks like that's also this is EMS Appreciation Week. So if you see EMT, MFRs, first responders, be sure and give them a thanks. End of report.
Thank you. So we'll move down to Councilmember Montgomery.
We have a rec commission meeting this Thursday at, I believe, Coast Guard Park. That is the end of my report, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Blease.
The MPO meeting this month will be Wednesday, May 19th. Policy committee meeting. I'm going to attend that. And then I wanted to thank all the EMS workers, Councilman O'Donnell, for all his hard work. It's really appreciated. It's something I couldn't do. So I'm going to reach out and say thank you to all the EMS workers and all the people in public safety too. End of report.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Carlson.
The KLH Dune Preserve Board has met via Zoom with our intern that's going to be working here starting very soon. And then also we have had a number of our members that have attended via Zoom again. Grand Haven, City of Grand Haven Planning Commission meeting because North Shore Marine is seeking to build a building with a variance for side setback, I believe it is. Is that correct, Craig?
You're muted.
Side and rear setbacks.
Side and rear setbacks on a building that they're looking to build. And so we have voiced our opinion. And a report.
Thank you. Councilmember Sias.
No report, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to circle back around. Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell, you mentioned about the ordinance and the no wake. Those are currently in discussion with Ottawa County Sheriff's Department at this time. So looking at, so once those become available, then council will have an opportunity to review. And with that, yes, congratulations to the EMTs and a true appreciation for all you do. This week is definitely one to take recognition for, like public safety police officers were for last week. And so it's just, it's time to recognize people that put their life on the line on a daily basis. I just want to recognize with staff and thank you for the website for continuing updating it. I like the new picture that we have on the banner with our 2 police officers. That was a great attribute to add. I met with our sergeant and we are reviewing the Marine Patrol for Spring Lake. The buoys have been set. The no wake buoys were about 2 weeks behind schedule. But the Spring Lake Board was able to get them set this week with a new company that they're working with. And then I also want to thank the DPW crew for installing the new interpretive the signage that's along over on Lakeview at our street end, little parks, or little, not really a park, but like the little, there's benches, or there's the signs that you can look at the lake unobstructed. And so those are just neat little areas that we have in the city for residents or also visitors too. So that's all I have in the report.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, so moved. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.